Welcome to Veterans Medals Workshop, where today we're going to talk about the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. President John Kennedy characterized the post-World War II period as a twilight that is neither peace nor war. And during that period, commonly referred to as the Cold War, the armed services agreed to one medal to recognize major actions not otherwise covered by a specific campaign medal. The Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal was authorized in 1961 to any member of the United States Armed Forces for military operations in direct support of the United Nations or as assistance to friendly foreign nations after 1958. The first qualifying mission for the medal was Operation Blue Bat, a peacekeeping mission in Lebanon from July 1st to November the 1st in 1958. The medal was also initially awarded for Vietnam service between July 1958 and July 3rd, 1965. Actually, an individual awarded the medal for this period of Vietnam service, as a military advisor, for example, could elect to keep the award or request the Vietnam Service Medal in its place. However, both awards may not be retained for the same period of Vietnam service. Now, many personnel receive this medal for continuing service in Cambodia after the Vietnam ceasefire. The medal was also authorized for those serving in the Persian Gulf area who previously would have qualified for the Southwest Asia Service Medal and the National Defense Service Medal when the qualification period for those two medals was terminated on November the 3rd, 1995. So, members of the Armed Forces who qualified for both the Southwest Asia Service Medal and the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal must elect to receive the Expeditionary Medal. The front of the medal depicts an American eagle with the wings raised, perched on a sword, behind of which is a compass rose with the rays coming from the angles of the compass points. The words Armed Forces Expeditionary Service encircle the entire design, and the reverse of the medal depicts the presidential shield with branches of laurel below and the inscription, United States of America. The American national colors are located at the center position or the honor point of the ribbon. The light blue sections on either side of the ribbon suggest water and overseas service, while the various colors on the outside of the ribbon represent areas of the world where American troops may be called upon to serve. There are 4 devices that are authorized for the medal: the Arrowhead device for airborne or amphibious assault, a bronze star to indicate each campaign, a silver star to indicate 5 campaigns, and the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor of the Marine Corps for naval personnel who serve with the Marine Corps. The Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal actually has a number of counterparts, and I would be remiss if I did not explain to you their relationship. As I mentioned earlier, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal was created in 1961 by President Kennedy. It was backdated to 1958 and awarded to members of the armed forces who participate in U.S. military operations, U.S. operations in direct support of the United Nations or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or U.S. operations of assistance to friendly nations. Since its establishment, it's been authorized for U.S. participation in over 45 designated military campaigns, the first one being the Cuban Missile Crisis between October 1962 and June 1963. The retroactive Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal was also issued for action in Lebanon, Taiwan, the Republic of the Congo, Guamoy, and Matsu, and for duty in Berlin between 1961 and 1963. During the first years of the Vietnam War, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal was issued for operations in South Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. In 1965, with the creation of the Vietnam Service Medal, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal was discontinued for Vietnam War service. Personnel who had previously received the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal were given the option to exchange the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal for the Vietnam Service Medal, and most service members did that. The Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal was intended to replace the Marine Corps Expeditionary Medal and the Navy Expeditionary Medal. The Marine Corps Expeditionary Medal was established back in 1919 as the Marine Corps Expeditionary Ribbon. The full-size medal was authorized in 1921, making it one of the oldest medals still issued to active duty personnel. For an award of the Marine Corps Expeditionary Medal, a Marine must have engaged in a landing on a foreign territory or participated in a combat operation against an opposing force or participated in a designated operation for which no other service medal is authorized. After 1961, different commands permitted eligible personnel to choose between the Marine Corps Expeditionary Medal or the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, depending on the nature of the operation. Beginning in 1992, the Department of Defense began to phase out the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal in favor of campaign-specific medals and the newly created Armed Forces Service Medal. The Armed Forces Service Medal was originally intended to be a replacement for the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. However, the two awards are now considered separate with different award criteria. The primary difference between the two is that the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal is normally awarded for combat operations and combat support missions. The Armed Forces Service Medal is the non-combat parallel of the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal and pertains more to peacekeeping operations and long-term humanitarian operations. I hope that kind of clears it up for you. The creation of a Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal in 2003 led to the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal being discontinued for Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. In March 2003, some personnel became eligible for the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal as well as the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, but according to the Department of Defense, only one of those medals may be awarded. Now I'd like to tell you the different configurations that the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal comes in. It's originally issued in bronze format as specified by the Institute of Heraldry, but it is available in a anodized or gold-plated edition for honor guards or for the Marines or whoever would like to have a non-tarnishing medal. There are miniatures in both bronze and gold-plated for formal wear. The ribbons have 4 devices, as I mentioned earlier: a bronze star, a silver star, an arrowhead for assault or amphibious landings, and an eagle, globe, and anchor for naval personnel serving with the Marines. It also has an enamel hat pin. There's a mini ribbon that's unofficial but available, and a hat pin that's unofficial but also available. I'd also like to point out that this medal does not come without at least 1 bronze campaign star on it. So the next question, if you've been paying attention, is where does it rank in the order of precedence? And it comes behind the Antarctic Service Medal and before the Vietnam Service Medal for all of the branches of the service except the Coast Guard. And in the Coast Guard's case, it comes after the Arctic Service Medal and before the Vietnam Service Medal. Well, I think that covered just about everything I know about the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. It ran a little long, but it's more detailed and complex than most people would think. If you enjoyed any of this information, there's more of it available in any of the books that are shown here on this page, and those are all available for you at Medals of America Press or on Amazon. Thank you for watching.